Hi, I'm Angela with aboutamom.com, and we are super excited here in the Tampa Bay area. Our Buccaneers are playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow here on our home field in Tampa. So I thought now would be the perfect time to share one of my family's favorite game day recipes with you. I'm going to make some sheet pan nachos. These are super easy and everyone in your family is going to love them. And what I like about a recipe like this is you can easily customize it with your own favorite toppings, or even do half and half like I do sometimes. I'll do half beef and half chicken. But for today, I'm making beef nachos. There is a secret ingredient to making the best sheet pan nachos, and that is a homemade cheese sauce. And don't be intimidated by that, because literally this sauce takes no more than 5 minutes to make, and believe me, it is well worth it. So let's get started on the cheese sauce. I have in my saucepan 2 tablespoons of butter, and we've got that melting. And I'm gonna just whisk in 2 tablespoons of flour. And you want to whisk that for a good 60 seconds, I'd say, just until it's all well combined and starting to get frothy. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit higher. I had the butter already melting before we started the video. And just stir and make sure you get all of the lumps out of this sauce. And to say we're excited in Tampa Bay is a serious understatement. This town is going wild this week, and I'll actually be making these nachos again tomorrow, a chicken version, and my family has no problem eating nachos 2 days in a row. So it looks like we are all set with the butter and flour, and then you're just going to slowly stir in 1 cup of milk. And just keep stirring to make sure that is well incorporated. And I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit. We want to bring this to a good simmer. There we go. And also I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And I have a rimmed baking sheet. A sheet pan like this will work for a full bag of tortilla chips. Just make sure that you oil the bottom of the pan or spray it with some no-stick cooking spray rather before you lay the chips down. So it looks like we are getting close to ready on this butter, flour, and milk mixture. I'm going to slowly start incorporating the cheese. I prefer a sharp cheddar cheese for this sauce. I'm going to kind of eyeball it, but usually I end up using about 2 cups of grated cheese. And this, when you make a sauce like this, I think it's well worth it to take an extra few minutes to grate the cheese yourself. It's going to melt a lot better without those preservatives that you would have in already grated cheese from the supermarket. So I'm going to start just handful by handful, adding my cheese to the sauce. And as each handful starts to melt, just add a little bit more. And while I'm doing this, I want to tell you about my ingredients. I mentioned that we're doing beef nachos. I have just about a pound of ground beef that I've browned, and I've added some taco seasoning to that, about 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. You can use one of the envelopes that you buy in the supermarket, but if you're like me and you use a lot of taco seasoning, I recommend making your own homemade taco seasoning. And if you're interested in that recipe, just visit aboutamom.com and on the search bar put taco seasoning. And I think you'll find that it tastes way better than what you would get in the store. Now this sauce is starting to really come together. You see that cheese is starting to melt. And I think we're going to use the full 2 cups here today. There we go. All morning we've been watching on the local news all the activities that are happening around Tampa for the Super Bowl. There's a lot of really great stuff going on. People are excited. We've decided to stay home this weekend and just, eat some really good food and watch the game together. Just our family of 3 tomorrow. We've, since the pandemic, that's pretty much what we've been doing. But it's, it's been good. We've had some really great family time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off on my sauce. This cheese sauce looks amazing. And I'm just going to add just a little bit of salt to that. And I'm going to whisk in just a little bit of, or a lot of chili powder. It's okay. It's still going to taste good. Actually, it's going to taste great. And if you like a little heat, you can even add some Tabasco to your sauce. So the very first thing that's going to go onto the tortilla chips is the cheese sauce. So if you have a pot like this with a little pour spout on the side, that works best. So I'm just going to go back and forth and just try and get this on most of the chips. That way we're not fighting over them. Everyone's going to want the one chip with the most cheese sauce. That happens, especially when you have teenagers in the house. So there we go. And like I said, you can use whatever toppings you want. Tomorrow I'm using a rotisserie chicken that I just picked up from Publix. And I'm going to just tear that into pieces for tomorrow's nachos. I'll be sure to take a picture of those actually and share them on Instagram and probably Twitter. So if you want to take a look at that, and I'll be sure to put that out as we're getting ready to watch the game. I'm just gonna, for time's sake, just do this. And again, just as evenly as you can, spread the meat out. I think this actually was a little bit over a pound, but a pound of ground beef, give or take, is perfect. And sorry, I'm giving my back to you so much. I like adding black beans to my nachos. You just want to make sure that you rinse them and drain them first. I don't know that I'm going to use all of these. I'm just going to start sprinkling them on and see how they look. I think we're going to use close to all of them. And whatever I don't use today, it's not going to go to waste. We'll use it with tomorrow's nachos. They go great on salads too, if you have some that are left over. You know what? We are using them all. I hope everyone's hungry. I have some Roma tomatoes that have been diced, about a cup. And if you don't want to use tomatoes, you can easily use your favorite salsa. My supermarket does a fresh salsa or pico de gallo that I'll probably put on my chicken nachos tomorrow. But for these, I'm going to use just some diced red onion and some diced Roma tomatoes. And I think that's enough of the onion. I don't mind it, but if I put too much, my 12-year-old might have issue with that. And I'm also going to use a cup of frozen corn that has been thawed out. And put those on. Oh, these are really loaded up, you guys. My family's going to be very happy. Some sliced black olives. I've got about a cup that I'm going to put on here. We have so many toppings. We might have to get some extra chips, but that's okay. And then I'm going to top this with even more cheese. This is just a Mexican cheese blend, about 2 cups. So we're just going to add the rest of this cheese. And I'm just going to put a little bit of sliced jalapeno on here because T and I will just be picking ours off and giving them to Andy anyway, so he's totally good with that, but we don't want to load him up too much. There we go. I think this looks amazing. What do you think? I'm going to go ahead and pop this into an oven. It's been preheated to 350 degrees. And then we're going to leave it in for 5 to 7 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. Once everything looks all melty, it should be ready to go. So let's go ahead and pop this in. So I think these nachos are just about ready to come out of the oven. They've been in for about 5 minutes. I use that time to tidy up the kitchen real quick. So let's take a look and see if they're ready. If you are looking for a winning recipe for game day or anytime, these nachos with a homemade sauce are just amazing. And you can really make a lot of them on a sheet pan. Oh, these look fantastic. Yeah, these are definitely ready. My family's been smelling this for the last 10 minutes. They're starving. But here we go. Easy sheet pan nachos with a homemade cheese sauce are definitely going to get you the win on game day or anytime. Be sure to visit aboutamom.com for more family-friendly recipes and inspiration for fun. Take care and go Bucs!